Hi all, Martyn again at Flicking Feathers, and I'm trying another carp fly. It's just the Backstabber, which is Zimmerman's pattern. I've adjusted it slightly to suit my fishing, but it's, to all intents and purposes, it's just the same fly. It's a great carp fly on the waters where this type of pattern is effective, which isn't everywhere. This pattern is absolutely deadly. It was actually the first fly I caught a carp on, well over a decade ago, and it is an absolute staple for me, and it has been. Like its position in the box has never been in any danger. As always, I'll put a materials list in the description, along with a link to the Patreon page for anyone that wants to support the channel, get access to the members only content, and be entered into the giveaways. You can also subscribe, hit the bell button so you get notified of the new videos. That's all, I appreciate it. So I've got my hook and my vise. This is a Gamakatsu SL45. It's the bonefish hook. It's 4 extra heavy, 3 extra short, I think, something like that. And this is a size 8, which is a wee bit smaller than the sort of standards. You usually see these are 4 and 6, but I often find the smaller fly to be more effective, certainly where I fish them. I tend to use Backstabbers on slow flowing rivers, very clear water sometimes, rivers that are quite rich in forage. Well, the carp are not that predatory, and the weir fly definitely gets fewer refusals than the bigger one. I've run on some uni thread and camel. This is 8.0 I'm using, but it doesn't matter. Use what you like. And I'm just lashing on some extra small lead dumbbells. Just because the dazzle eye is the original pattern. The 3/8 dazzle eye is just too big on this wee hook to get this. This extra small lead eye seems to be about the same weight, so that kind of fits that slot in my box. I also tie them with a 3mm tungsten dumbbell, which is heavier, and I tie them with a medium bead chain, which is lighter, just to suit. Sometimes the river's a wee bit heavier or the water's a bit deeper, whatever, you need to get it down there. So that's last on. It's just above the point of the hook. I'm going to get some super glue, just brush it all along on the underside as well. Don't be shy with it. I know some folk kind of still worry about smell and all that, but when a carp eats your fly, it's doing it because it's seen it. I mean, sometimes you see the way they charge, like where I fish, they often charge a sinking hybrid or something. They see that worm and they just want it. They're no finding this by scent, and to be quite honest, I've tied flies in the morning, gone and hit the river, I've glued them, I've hit head cement, like varnish based head cement on the whip finish, and I've caught fish within, within an hour of tying the fly, and it's happened loads of times. I think a lot of folk want to use the head cement as an excuse for their presentation. Anyway, I've made a wee dubbing loop at the back here and I've waxed it. I'm just going to hang in my spinner. get my dubbing. I'm using Arizona sparkle dub, but the SLF blends work. I've had good success actually on ones just tied with ice dub. Like the pheasant tail ice dub's a good colour. The peacock ice dub's a good colour. On days where there's maybe a bit more sun and you can get a wee bit more, you know, it's a bit more translucent, there's a wee bit more flash to it. Sometimes that can be quite effective. But this is probably my standard dubbing. So I'm just going to make a wee rope. Doesn't need to be too heavy. Just spin that up. And I don't bother like brushing this or anything, I just let it cord up. A wee shaggy rope. And then I'll take it forward. Watch that hook point. Figure eight it around the eye. And lock it off. Turn in front. Fold it back. And tie over it. It'll never come out. And you can see now I've got this wee scruffy boa dubbing. Wee sparkly fibres all coming out of that. Excellent. Once you've fished it, it's sort of, and it dries, you know, it'll be wet, and the weight of the dubbing will sort of set it into a nice shape. I mean, and that can happen, just you make a presentation, catch a fish or don't catch it, spook it, and then you walk, on a sunny day you walk down the river a wee bit and then everything's sort of settled up. So the wing, I'm using Grizzly Marabou tan, and I want the length slightly less than a shank out the back of the, behind the hook. I'll set it on my side first. Have a look at that, that's fine. Trim away. I'll do the offside. I just line it up. I like to turn it. Make sure they're the same length. Just press them together. See that they match up. You can look from above. However you prefer to judge it, it's fine. But I want it on top. I don't want it, it's crept round there, so I'll just pull it up. Check the length again. Fine. Trim all that away. Tidy up. Hackle I like on this is just a natural done, and this is just from a wee cheap Indian hen back. It's no a genetic cape or anything. You don't need to, I mean, with hen hackle I think there's limited value in genetic hens for most applications, but sometimes I will use them for certain things. So I'm tying this in, and I'm tying it in like I would a cock hackle, tying it in by the base. Just get that stem tied in, I'll fold it back and tie over it, that way it can't pull out, and then I'll just wind this. The number of turns is up to you, and it will depend on the hackle. I'll probably need, oops, got my Hackle pliers, it's just a wee bit wee. I'll probably need at least 3, I would say, on this Hackle. Yeah, 3.5 into the 4th. Trim away the waste. And just use your thread just to gather anything that's going forward. Make sure you don't spear yourself on that hook point. And then sweep it all back. And build a neat head. And then hit finish. And another. There you go. That's your backstabber. All it needs now is a bit of varnish on that head to protect your knot from the bottom. Just make sure you do the hell head, don't put it on your Hackle, let it flood the eye, and then you can come in with your needle. Take away the excess, make sure your eye's nice and clean. There you go, that's the backstabber. Deadly fly. Black, this grizzly tan, probably the best 2 colours I think. Maybe olive, depends. I mean, it will depend where you're fishing, but for places where the carp are no like feeding on big gobies and large crayfish, these are excellent flies. They really are. I cannot recommend them highly enough. So I hope that was useful, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up below and subscribe to the channel. Till then guys, bye.